No. Am I on? Am I on here? Can't see. Turn my glass on. Sun is bright. That's what I see. Hey guys. I just hiked like clear over to the Steers water. It's deep sand. I had to check everybody. Am I on? Hi Nelly. Hi Nelly. She's eating with Chip Chip. Pick the hay feeder up. You got hay on your mouth. Yeah, you do. Sure. I was going to sit in the tub. I forgot I had mineral on it. So here, we'll go over here. Yep. Hey. Hi, Sass. Am I on? Right here? Oliver. There's the other boys. Yeah. Cinnamon. Say hi, baby. Little boy. You being a good boy? That's a baby too. You say hi? You say hi? Are you eating your hay? You fill your tummies? The cinnamon. Oh, yeah. Hi. We gotta talk to people. No, we can't squatch right now. The Pip. Lean on Pip. And favorite thing to do. The Chip Chip. Elka. Annie. Yeah. Who's Izzy? What's she over there? Hi, Annie. What's that boy? Who that? Hi, Ruby. You gonna come see your mama? Go. Go, Sass. Coming up behind. Go. There we go. No, Tina, you too big. You know, no see. See who I'm walking up to. Here I come. Well, hi, Coco. Hi, Coco. Oh, hi, Duffy. Oh, night-night. Oh, so connection. Oh, hi, Hobie. Come on, baby. The Posey. The Bruno. The Batty. Hobie. Who's the baby? Mama. Good job for you. Who's the baby? You say hi. You give a hug. Hmm? Mama loves you. Yes, she does. We got you a new home. It's gonna be like the farm. Yes, it is. We're gonna have a home like the farm. You have lots of room. You'll get a pole shed, a barn. Yeah, lots of acres. You'll get trees. It's gonna be a forever home. There's squeeze chute. Yeah, we got windbreak. You got pond. You can go in the water. So we gotta talk to everybody. We're coming on now. Oh, we got a connection. I think we're gonna walk around again. Yeah, Hobie. Hobie. Ozzy. Bruno. He's still not super great yet. Jeffrey. Here we go. Planning on sitting on that tub. I forgot to put mineral. Izzy. Chip Chip. Pip Pip. Yeah. Ruby. Hey. Here, Winnie. Sassy. houses, which are private, so I try to keep those out of my videos. Little kids, I don't know if they're ever out. You know, it's not my property, I rent. Not my place. Tell 13,000 people, you know, their home, that troopers can show up or show stuff. Yeah. Yeah, cub. Can't see anybody. Oh, I got attacked. Hi, baby. You eating? You gotta eat your food. Hi, baby. Those deers are eating down there. Cinnamon. I don't see anything. That's what I see. See the sun. Who got your hay? Yes, you do. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna go over here. Buddy. Now you kind of get, I don't see a whole lot here. Chip, chip. Up, up. There we go. I'll sit. I guess. Oh, shit. Oh, signal. Chip, chip. Here we go. Okay, so kind of a walk around. Can see the gate. Yesterday, the gate was closed already. I was pretty upset. It's just not enough room. There's like less than an acre for all 26 of them. They need a bigger space. See how much hay they drop. The small steers pen, it's a little bit bigger, but it's still not enough room. I mean, they need space. When you have them in this tiny space, it'll be full of manure, snow, ice. They're going to get grumpy. They're going to be on top of each other. You know, they're already pretty upset today. Hang on. Jeffrey, you better not be sniffing or you're going to get in trouble. Okay, good boy. Jeffrey acts out too. He gets grumpy. Having territorial issues. You know, in territory can be something around I don't see. I'm watching. So anyway, so yesterday I came and, you know, we had paid full rent for the whole entire place on October 1st and lost like 90% of it. Dry lot should be really like quarters a day per cow, and we're still paying full price, 2 acres. I got offered 2 acres in dry lot before we ever left the farm, and I didn't want it. It just wasn't enough. They need more shelters. So yesterday, and I looked at that other place last weekend. You know, in a pinch, it was okay, but it wouldn't have been permanent unless we could rent the whole place. I really didn't want to be right next to cows being raised and fattened up, seeing them every day before they were sold. That's very hard on me. You know, it just breaks my heart. I get attached, and so I wasn't really excited about it. And, you know, I talked to the guy here. I'm like, I can't just have this small area. It's not big enough. Brought up what was said. So yesterday when the gate was already shut, I mean, I was really upset. So I started calling around, and I got on Facebook real quick, which when we moved here, I should have been on top of everything. And I found a place out of town, and it was like corn stalks. And I thought, well, I'll just reach out. You know, that's what I always do. I reach out. I'm like, do you know of anything? That's kind of what I want. I'm like, pens, big area, ideally barns, stuff like that. and then I'm like, he's like, yeah, we have about 11 acres of, pens that we used to calve in. So I'm like, okay, at least that's better than 3-4 acres or 2 acres. And I'm like, can I go look at it? And he told me to call his dad. It was his land. So I called him, and he's just like, yeah, come and look at it. And I'm like, okay, I'll hurry up and go right now. And when I went, GPS sent me all over the place. I was on gravel road. It's out of town. I generally don't give exact locations of the cows because it's always at someone else's house. It's not my own property. I have over 13,000 followers in all of my social media. You got creepers. People could show up at 2 a.m. just to see Jeffrey, and I'm not going to do that to someone. They also have little children. It's not my place. I'd love to have visitors, but it's up to the owners of the property. It's their place. If they don't, I was told at this place in writing I cannot have anybody out. So, and I also do not carry that type of personal liability that you would usually have if you own your own ground. Like if someone walked out here and they tripped over manure and they broke their leg, I'm responsible. You'll have to have that stuff, all your ducks in a row for that type of thing. So, I gotta respect if they want to rent to me what their choices are. Anyway, so in here, I do try to keep the house and everything else, the other animals out of the pictures. You give respect to get respect. So anyway, so I called the dad. I drove over there. As I was driving up, all I could think was, oh my God, I hope this is the place. It's just perfect. It's exactly what I want. It's what I was looking for when we left the farm. I wanted something like that. Everything else kind of gave me an uneasy feeling. The other place, so I pulled in. He was out there. He's like, let me drive you around the side by side. I'm like, oh my gosh, if it's that big, And we went to where I first pulled in, a big old pond, big old pasture. There's trees. Went over on the other side, another big area with a windbreak, another pasture. Then you go up and you have another big grass area. Then you have pens. There's a little barn. There's like 2 pole sheds. I didn't look as close. And then we drove across. There's like a big alfalfa field. When it freezes, he said they can go out there. So that's kind of what the post was on yesterday, was trying to rent it out, and I'll get all of that. Total, he owns like 300 acres. It was his family's place. His parents passed down, and his son he does a lot with too. So, and so his son I think will take over after. So we drove all around, water, it's private, nobody's going to be seeing my cows. There's cows further over going to leave December 1st, but I don't have to look at cows every day. There's no bulls. We're going to get all this land, there's shelters, there's windbreaks, there's trees, and next summer they'll have a pond. It's exactly what I was looking for, and it's going to make everybody happy because it's just, they can't live in this tiny area. Only thing I have to buy his hay. I can't buy from my guy anymore. I have to buy his hay there, which, you ever wonder when I'm always talking about hay and cost, here's something to put in perspective. He said he sold all of his, this used to be where he calved out. He sold all of his cows because he learned he could make 4 times more money baling and selling hay. The hay market is that high, the demand's that high, supply that low, and so that says a lot about hay and costs and how much people get. So I'm going to go back in the morning, and me, him, and his son are going to fix fences, because I know what fence they need. So, it hasn't been used 2-3 years, and I thought first just a winter, but it will be just giving Jeffrey a bath. It will be like our forever home. Hi, Pep. I'm back here. Don't run me over. And I'm squatting down. So in the town that it's at, I can actually, there's a lot more places to rent. Rent's pretty reasonable. See, here, no place close to rent. I can move there. It'll be a fresh start. Rent should be good. You know, I spend probably 2.5, 3 hours a day driving. Then it's like I get here, I can't just leave and come back. You know, it's a lot of my day. If I try and sit and do something, then I have every single... They knocked me off the tub yesterday. So I will be closer to cows there. Rent's going to be about the same for way, way more. He's going to teach me. I can drive one of his tractors. They have all sorts of equipment. They have a trailer, can bring their flatbed. I'm going to sit, hopefully not manure. They're going to bring their flatbed, haul stuff out. There'll be water going and floats. I can still take my tank. Sadly, one of my fish did not make it. Living in that town, more opportunities, you know, and I can go check cows, go home, get stuff done, go work or something, then go back. It's hard when you're basically living in a car or living in a pasture all the time. You know, I don't think anybody gets, I'm always on the go. And sometimes signal can be a little iffy, you know, and doing everything yourself as you're on the go. I try to message, I try to get on like 9 social medias and comments and respond. You know, it's a lot. And then care. Care is always number one. So I'm very happy. I'm very excited. Like, I just knew this is where we need to go. I knew it's going to be, you know, at the end of the day, I always do whatever is best for cows. If getting rid of all of them, you know, find somewhere else, splitting them up, which they cannot be split up. They are bonded. They are just one, you know, but if I always do what is best for them, and like I knew right away, 1 acre is not big enough. And so this just happened to show up, and it was just the perfect spot. Get them moved. Still going to be about an hour driving for me. But eventually I can move too, and I really like that town. Hey, don't be naughty over there. So I'm so excited. Pip, don't be a bully. So, and like, you can see here too, you know how much hay accumulates, and if you don't see on top of it, it's not just going to be like, gotta pay for this, gotta pay for that, and we get what we pay for, you know, and I know proper rent prices, you know, and a lot of people want to charge way more. This is about right for what we're getting, so excited. And then he said, can move pole sheds around as needed, because I said the steers need to stay separated. He said, well, maybe if they have bigger room, they might be able to make it. And 2, no judgment from him. He's like, well, so you probably don't eat meat, do you? I said, no. Didn't say another word. I mean, that was just fine. And then he did point out, he goes, you talk about your cows like they're humans. I said, yes. You know, to me, they are. They each have their own individual personality. You know, and we both agreed, rather hang with cows than people. So, hi, Pip. That's why I can't hardly get much done. I got a fly on me. Oh, you need scratches. Here, I gotta get you. Oh, now I can see. You know, when I'm here, I don't know if you can see it with Pip. I got that sun so bright, I can't hardly see stuff. See, like, you can see it. I take my glass off. Yes, I am worried, you know, too, here, it's a lot of gravel. Being over an hour away, this road the other day with rain became like a solid sheet of ice. It was hard to go down. I worry in the winter I can't get here, which they'd be okay, but there's, like, this is the only shelter they have in this pen. And that's not enough. And they're all, if you can see, they're all getting really, really fuzzy already. And that tells me it's going to be a bad winter there. You got your trees, you got your shelter belts. Karen, well, there will be a lot more space, and the house is further in the background. And so I think it's a married couple, they're older, so I don't think as many limitations. I'm not showing like any cows with ear tags, stuff like that. So just, you know, it's up to him if I can share the location, you know, which always there's a small group knows exactly where my cows are, how to get a hold of everybody, stuff like that. But I'll have a bigger area right now, you know, like if I turn all the way around, you can see their house. And that's not my place, share somebody else's property, which I would assume everybody could respect or share their address. You know, it's up to someone else. And it was put in writing, you cannot have people out here. I said, well, I have to have my hay guys out. And that was okay. But you know, I get it. Pip! Oh, Pip. I gotta stand up. Stop doing that. I can't just scratch you. Here. Pip's like, I'm feisty. Scratch. Pip is one, if you stop scratching you, she will bite you with her horn. She'll poke you. And if you start scratching, you better have 2 hours scratch. And this is why usually a lot of stuff you don't see because I'm actually doing this. Because Pip's got scratches. So, and the babies are doing good. The white face, we got to get banded. Betty's doing a little better. I waited on the vet. I can sell my squeeze chute that I got. There is a really big squeeze chute fit 1,800 pound cows. So, Pip's like, give me scratches. You ever know too, my favorite is I just lean on them. So, here, I can't see again. Hop up. So, it's been a long couple days. I had to get hay in and AO on it, and he wouldn't bring less than 10 bales. And I'm like, well, I don't know how long I'll be here. And he said, well, we can always haul it out. You know, it's just for 3 bales. But it is cold. They do need their hay. They're eating a lot. The small steers were completely out. They have theirs, the alfalfa. Trying a little protein just to see if they need it. Deborah, I'm trying to see. I think it will be. I don't know, I drove up and I just got so excited and so happy because it's a place they will love. And, you know, because I was trying to find a place by my house otherwise, and I can move to that town. Rent's not gouged. I see them all the time. And see properties kind of listed. And then I could be closer to them. And it's a bigger town, more opportunities, do stuff. You know, when you take out like 3 hours of your day just driving or just sitting here, you know, I can go and check in the morning, make sure they have water, they're okay, go home, go back. It gives me more time. Otherwise, like if I come here, I gotta just hang out, keep filling the water tanks, you know, and that's a lot. So, and they'll just be happier. They'll have their trees scratch on. You know, keeping them in this small space, it's cruel. And the guy said, well, when do you want to move? He was talking about fence. I said, well, my cows can't just live in 1 acre. You know, it's different if it'd be really cold and they're just standing here eating. But it's not. It's pretty nice out. Hi, Karen. Starting to see stuff. So I'm really excited. And, you know, this guy is not just looking to get rich. It basically, apart from like the indoor arena, it's kind of like moving back to the farm. Well, just no river. But the pond, they will absolutely love. You know, the river was always dry anyway. The trees, the space, you know, then we also have pens. I should probably see if my vet will go that far. You know, kind of get lost without my vet. Thank you, Stardust. Yes, it is because, you know, Jeffrey, if people know where he is, you know how many people would just show up and How do you know they won't climb in the pen? If it's someone bad, I can't say Jeffrey's not going to go after them. Or, you know, the babies are going to kick. Or, you know, families. I'm going to bring my kids and they're just going to climb over the fences. Or, you know, they come down and they scare all my cows and they run through 5 fences. You know, they all get hurt or they get somewhere. And it's just, you know, I'm not here right now. And it's not my property to share. I don't have the insurance. You know, to have visitors out, you have to carry a certain type of insurance like someone would if you own like a store, like a Walmart or something. You have to carry that same type. You know, some people are good, but what if, you know, others want to come out and they trip? You know, you can trip over, not see a piece of wire, trip over a lump of hay. I trip all the time. I've fallen over nothing. And they break their leg. Boom, they're suing you. You know, so you have to have that stuff. And then you have to get, you know, you have to have forms that people sign. Like, they act, you know, they're not like these perfectly well-behaved puppets, you know. They have personalities. They do stuff. They get grumpy like a person. Like Pip. Chip, stop pushing. You know, Pip's like, if you don't scratch me, I'm going to bite you. Who's that? Good Bella. Bella's always with her mama, Pip. Dear Nellie, she's with Chip. That's why Chip butted her, but he's like, I got to eat with Nellie. They're all, that's... Well, and finally, the flies are going down. I don't know if you can see them swirling around. But see, like, that's about as much as I can show. Because when you go a little bit over, it's other people's homes. You know, it's like you. I don't think you'd want somebody showing your home off to the whole entire world. You know, if I want someone to rent to me, I gotta respect them as well. So, man, Coco's nothing. Coco, no, you're too big. You know, and that's part of, they're bored. So now the bigger babies are all nursing. And there's too big to nurse. And that's partly why Peanut's got a sore. Jeffy? I know. He doesn't want Pip in his space. So he gets more pushy. My face? Are you want to see us try to do a selfie? Okay. I don't even know who's in it. Jeff, are you in it? Okay, let's try it this way. I think I kind of lost it. I don't know how to turn the camera around. You know, technology isn't quite my thing. But you can see, Jeffrey's head takes up the whole entire camera. You know, so we can't, like, both fit. Let's fit. Take a selfie. You're not real. You don't exist. You're imaginary. Yo, Pip, you're imaginary. What do you think? So, sit a minute. Here we go. Hi, Pip. You got a fly. Trying to read comments. So, I guess too, well, I'll go fix fence, and I'm like, do I need to bring, I'm on a slow connection again. Pip. Hi, Pip. That's what I mean, you cannot stop scratching her. You know, and that's why too, can't get anything done. Some days, scratch her, you gotta just keep going. You can see though, how fuzzy she is. On my hands, I just have dirt. My nails, I'm always dirty. When you lay on them, my whole face will be wearing dirt. You got color. Yep. Okay, now I gotta stand up. I can't just scratch you. I'm gonna lean on you. Okay, now I got my resting spot. I can see the comments. If I'm standing, I can't see my phone. Wait, a lot of times I can't respond. Sun's out. So slow connection again. So I'm really excited. You know, when you do good, you're a good person, things work out for you. You know, good comes. You just have to wait a little bit. And I'm so excited. You know, and the whole idea, I've been trying to make things easier on me so I can get more stuff done. Cheaper. You know, sometimes too, driving all day, walking, I'm tired. So, and the stress. So, we gotta pay for rent. I don't think I'll get anything back here. I guess we'll cover any pasture stuff. And we owe for this load of hay that I just got. And then we'll have to load hay feeders, my wagon, my cart. I got all my buckets and tubs. I'll have a barn to put those in. Pip! Oh, God, go screw. Your bed's backing up. What else do I have to take? I don't really keep much at places. But then, too, like driving back and forth, I keep so much in my car. Thank you, Kim. I kind of always look like I'm homeless. I had this hoodie for $1 at the junk jaunt. Jeffrey, are you gonna push? Hi, Jeffrey. You got manual. Now, here we go. Well, here's what I see on Jeffrey. There him is. And Jeffrey's growing. So, it's a lot to pay for. Don't be pushy, guys. Hey! Stop it. Don't push her. So, trying to see again. I'm leaning into Jeffrey. So I'm real? Are my cows real? Or are they made up? So I'm very excited. I'm very happy. It's like exactly what I wanted. You know, and it was the perfect spot I was looking for when we moved. You know, we came to what we needed, you know, for me. So, but, you know, and it worked for them, but you can see the gate, we lost all of that. So, and you gotta think, you know, when snow comes, too icy, you can see, I mean, this was just cleaned, how much manure when they eat this much. You stop nosing, you naughty girl. No. So, figured though I'd come on, I was so excited, I was driving, and then I was couldn't write and drive, and I wanted to share everything. Then I'm moving around though. That's my hands all the time. No, baby, that's not sweet. That's just my hand. It's usually what my face looks like, that much dirt. So, so you think I should just get rid of Izzy over here? I mean, she's just chilling. Should I get rid of Hope? So I guess I should get rid of some. Should I get rid of Jeffrey? Izzy, you just gotta go. Too many. Let's hear. We'll go eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oh, Rosie. Just separate Rosie from Hope. A Bruno from Sassy. Oh, you know, Betty's getting kind of old. Or Eva. Eva's getting older. You know, everybody's related. No. That's what I mean. No. Territorial. No. 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 That's why, too, I think sometimes being close to bulls makes him more territorial. And be naughtier. No. I said no. Jeffrey, you're going to get in trouble. No. No. You're being naughty and I don't like it. And that's what happens when they're together this much. Here, Eva, you go. No. You're going to get in trouble. Be good. You try by you're cute. No. And that's especially why Jeffrey can't be in a small space. He starts acting up. He needs room. He needs room to get away from everybody. So, don't be naughty. We don't do that. I don't know though, sometimes he's just marking. If he jumps, he will hurt someone. No, males are naughty. You go eat your food. You eat your food and you behave. So, stop eating up the babies, no. If you're naughty, you're going to get in trouble. And now he's getting pushy. Be good. There, you eat your food. Okay. See, sometimes he just does this and he just marks them. I don't know, maybe it's a baby, see? It's just marking territory. I worry though, sometimes he will act out. Okay, you go to sleep, you take a nappy. You have to take a nap. There's the babies, well I see the babies. So, we still need to name the babies, and so which I know a lot of people didn't agree with that. You know, we're already struggling, everything else. Kind of be like seeing like 2 dogs right next to you every single day, watching them grow up, playing with them, and knowing they're gonna go, you know, be eaten. What would you do? You know, and the money, I had no clue cattle market that high. I had no clue, you know, if even could. It was just something I asked, but at the same time, wouldn't we pay that to a vet to save one of these guys? I mean, what would you do if you were in that situation? You know, if we stayed 2, I would have had to see him every single day. That's why, too, you know, I'm trying to find places that are not cows right next to us. It's very hard. And I don't want bulls right next to us, because a bull can jump a fence like that very easy. So, but these 2 little bitties need names. Jeffrey, don't be naughty. We're still doing our $5 entries now. You know, we'll cover, we got to pay rent the next place. As soon as we get fenced, can trailer. I didn't ask him, he has 1 trailer, how much that'll cost. I got to see the distance from here. You know, we want to go and get settled before it gets cold or snows. I can walk around tomorrow, get a few more pictures or videos. Dad, he was just driving me around. We were talking about stuff. Let's hear it. Yeah, you know, and you can see, too, how bonded I am with them. You know, they follow me everywhere. Oh, he's like, why are you sitting? You're usually taller. See there? Him. You know, I spent a lot of time with these 2, and they were right next to, you know, they shared a fence. They've been answering my cows' calls. My cows answer them all the time. See? You know, if I didn't spend time this way too, you know, they're very, very tame. So, hi Erica. I think I'm sitting in newer. Hi Erica. There you guys go. So, you know, it was very hard, you know. I see hundreds to thousands of cows every day in feedlots, on stock trailers going, in pastures. I see the same ones every day. I look, I recognize, I see so many. You know, I can't do anything. There's 5 more over there. I can't do anything. You know, they're at least not as tame. These trusted people. They completely trusted people. It just wasn't right. So, you know, that's the biggest type of betrayal there is. So we can keep going with, you know, entering for their names and see if we can't get rent paid. And I got to pay for this load of hay. I think the first will go, and I guess see how much trailering is. So, and at least there too, we can pay monthly. It's not, that's why I say, you know, so many want you to pay in advance, and then that area that was online we can get for no additional cost, which is wonderful. So I'm hearing a lot of people out. So, there you are. Just walk right behind me. And him's got his bits he got to get fixed. You know, and the reason why the males get neutered is because you can't, well, you can spay cows, but they do it like feedlots, or they give hormones because they're getting ready to kill them anyway. It's not meant for long living. Like, you can't spay a horse. Cows cannot go on their back. They can't be rolled over, and cows cannot be down for very long because of their stomachs. That's why they take like cat naps and they get up and they get moving. And why if I see one down, I worry a little bit of bloat, I make them get up. So, you know, it's just, I'm not going to do anything that hurts them. You know, and the steers, they're all fixed, but it's like a male. You get a vasectomy, it's still a man. And the fact they got fixed a little bit later, you know, it works keeping everybody separated. So, good Lord, my hands are always dirty. You know, and then sometimes they're sweat and I stick it to my phone. So, does anybody, you know, have any questions for me? Or want to talk to me? Everybody always talks behind my back. Nobody talks to me. Ask me anything. So, yes, and you know, farmers, you know, I was really touched yesterday. Guy now, he sells cows. He sent me a lot of videos of porch cows. You know, I make a difference. There's a lot of farmers starting to support me that see my side. They understand why I do it. You know, beef farmers never ask me why I would save a cow. They just say about the cost because it's so expensive to take care of them, to feed them, to do all of that. You know, they're very large animals. You know, you figure, like Izzy there is at least 1,700 pounds. Izzy may be the only one kind of fat. But you look around, you see these girls, you're all looking at 1,700 pounds. You know, everybody weighs at least that much, and you got Jeffrey so big. These two even look tiny and are over 300 pounds. You know, Rosie and Bruno are well over 600 pounds. So, hi Tato. So, there's Peanut. You know, they weigh a lot. And I'm very big on them being healthy. I don't like skinny animals, and making sure their health is the best. They eat the best. I buy the highest quality. It does cost more, but you know, then I have lower vet bills. And you buy good hay, they eat it. They're not just wasting a whole bale. They're getting stuff they need. Yes, Karen, I'll just have to pay for the hay. I don't have to pay extra to haul it in. Basically, I won't have to pay for every little thing. A lot will be included in my rent. And even like fence supplies. I said, do I need to bring anything? Do I need to buy anything? And he said, no, I have everything. Kim, no, I won't. That place was out of state. That was the Kansas one where there were the venomous snakes, the horse property. I would have lived in that trailer house, 20 acres, but we couldn't go across state lines without ear tags or brands. And I didn't want to brand him or do ear tags. He lives there, but I can rent a place in the town. There's a lot, it's a bigger, be like me moving back to Grand Island, but cheaper rent, more opportunities, so I can live like 2 miles away instead of like 75 miles away. So, you know, that would free me up a lot. You look at, I drive over 4,000 miles a month just to check them. You know, and like here, sitting in the pasture, you can see, you know, when usually they're crowding me. You know, and then it's hard to do stuff. I'd like to do more lives. I can face the phone away when we go there. So, oh, they just got home. I should probably talk to them. So, and over there I got to fix. Steers keep, that hot wire isn't on. The steers keep hitting it with their tail. So, but we got to pay for 10 bales of hay, and we got to pay this rent so we can get moved. You know, we already paid for here for the month, but You know, 1 acre should be like a quarter per cow per day. So, you know, we're paying like $1,100 for 2 acres. That's as much for 32. So, well, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to check everybody, and I'm tired. I didn't sleep much last night. I'm just so happy. I think, you know, I can relax a little bit. So, you know, yeah, Izzy is just a little fluffy. I'm going to try and do more lives. I guess, too, sometimes I'm so in my head. I'm so stressed out, so worried about, you know, and a lot of it is, too, I'm always looking for places, what they need. You know, it's a nice time of year. Flies are down a little bit. And the babies are adapting. The babies are staying right with them. They're eating. They've gained some weight. The babies do have a little lice and a little wormy, so I already have some ivermectin, and I can treat them, but yeah, him's got to lose his parts. Yes, they are, Karen. Yes, Kim, because too, you know, like, I would have everybody's like, well, work on all this stuff. Well, I'd be sitting out here trying to do all this stuff, and, you know, if they're real loud and talkative, or they're grumpy, you know, I can't do stuff. I can't make phone calls, you know, and some stuff just needs done in private. And, hi, Eva. Eva. I don't have any tweets. You know, and I was sitting on the tub the other day, and they just pushed me right on off, so just getting a little bit of milk, because the baby's nurse on her, too. So, yeah, and it'll be nice just to be closer. You know what? Better feeling there. I didn't even have 1 second of worry about him taking them. He's very well financially, so, and really, just really nice. It's him and his wife live there. They're gonna go on vacation in January and another time. So, I'm really excited. I think, you know, me moving, I get a fresh start. That house, you know, kind of gonna kill me at some point with, I don't think all the sewer gas gone, all the issues. It's just when it comes winter time and I have to shut those windows up, I'm been pretty worried about it. And, you know, I'll start looking, I'll get them moved, and then I'll start looking for me, my lease up in January. So I don't know, but there's just more opportunities, you know, more I can get done when, like, 7-8 hours driving, check-in. It's hard to get stuff done. Nobody gets that. It's just me. You know, it can take 3 hours to upload or do posts and videos just on social media. I'm hoping to do more lives. Oh, sorry. I can't see anything. If you see, I just see this bright sun. I was trying to see the phone. So, and I'm hoping to do more lives like TikTok, stuff like that. So, and, you know, I am excited. We had like 200,000 views the last 90 days, like 60,000 the last 30 days. We made like $14 the last month. So, you know, lots of views, lots of people watching, gets us more monetized, gets us more money, more people follow, more accounts. I saw one person made like 9 accounts to stalk me. It's just money in my pocket. It actually supports me more than it hurts me because my monetization went up by $5. So, you know, whatever. And they, you know, karma actually really came in my favor. And, you know, when you do good, you get repaid. So I am laughing, you know. Thank you, Deborah. I will, you know, and then too in the winter, that'll be so nice to be so close, and there's just more people there, more to do, you know. And if I can go check them at like 9 in the morning or something, or 10, get home earlier in the day, you know, too, more time to see friends or something, actually do something, work more, be online. It'll just be so much better, you know. And I've been saying too, I'm tired of driving all the time. it just gets old. I'm tired of having to have all this stuff in my car because I live too far away to run and get something. You know, and in this town, let's see if they have bomb guards or which ones they have. My feed's right there. You know, and the other place, it would have been okay, but it wasn't a long term that I had found that I talked to earlier. I mean, it would have been bigger than this, but I was worried about stuff on the ground. That metal pole shed, what if it got struck by lightning? There was a huge hole I had him fill. I do have to tell him. So, it did come at the right time, and I had no clue. You know, and I think it wasn't until he met me, you know, offered way more. So, you know, like I said, he was going to offer that one field out. He was going to rent it to someone, just, I think, bring in some money. So, you know, and cows will be a little spooky at first, but they'll get used to it. They'll be happier. You know, if you can kind of see, that's kind of where those babies were. You know, not enough room. And I don't want everybody getting crabby. I don't want them getting pushy. And okay, so if you just sit in your living room, this is basically what it's like. You sit in your living room all the time. You're completely bored. What are you going to do? You're going to eat nonstop. And that's what they're going to do. And, you know, they do spill a lot. Jeffrey and Chip lift the hay feeders off. But I mean, and then imagine too, this is like one day how much manure's in here. They're going to have to lay on manure. Then imagine if it gets snowy and it freezes, we're going to have ice. You know, and that's why I didn't like that pen where the rain would go down. There'd just be ice. And the pond, you know, not for winter, but it'll be great for spring, summer. And, you know, I think I gotta go. They're hanging out here. All right, I'll talk to you later. Oh, hey.